Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We're on a recap for the weekend here, and just kind of catch you up, really since Christmas, and kind of get back on track with these recaps, and kind of move forward as we get into the year. So a lot's kind of going on. We've been looking at the levels throughout this time frame. It is hard because, like we were saying, always be careful in this because you do get some weird price action. We're going to kind of look at a little bit of that price action today, and even right now, as we're doing this recording for the recap on the weekend, now that we have the weekly candle close, we did get some weird expansion. I kind of want to show the system a little bit of why we don't trade, and this will call it out and would have helped you out. Now, granted, we're not in the time to trade. We're looking at a weekly candle close, and really we're watching kind of the Asian market and kind of what's going on with that. So let's just kind of look at the levels. I'll show you some stuff. We'll look at the larger areas, look at the weekly candle close, and just kind of point some levels out and kind of see where we're at. So let's jump into the charts here. And you can see we're sitting on the 15-minute chart, and you're probably like, wow, you're expanding. They do have an area up here. That's just kind of based on this price action right here on this last move where we could still go to. This is where I want to kind of point out, be careful. This really started before the evening session started here. After on Monday, really, is what they're looking at. For us, we're not in our trading area yet, but it's something to pay attention to. The areas that we see on the chart right now are actually from the Sunday, and you can see how price action kind of played in this area and then started to kind of run out. So yeah, we are sitting up here currently at that 90,000, but again, this is why you want to be careful. We were topped out and when this exploded. So let's jump into the system side of things and look at the current price action here on after that weekly candle close. So that weekly candle close was right down through here when we pretty much closed the time frame, and then it kind of got aggressive, right, and started to run. And this green line right here was kind of the trigger that we were looking at. It hadn't changed a whole lot, really, just because not a lot's happened in the last couple of days, really through the weekend and even into the Friday and stuff. So we were watching for this to possibly be a pullback and rejection. You can kind of see this white line, this blue line. Those are kind of golden pocket retracements, really, on the last couple of days of price action. Again, that's tough to really go after, and you don't want to get too excited in this area. And the reason why is because we've had some weird price action through the holidays, and then you get into the weekend. So it doesn't surprise me a little bit that we're getting this weird jump. Now this could keep running. Okay, let's take a look at that. So if we're watching the system, we want to get the confirmation close, and then we want to get the two candle closes. So you're kind of looking at like a 3 candles. If you're kind of looking at it that way, if you want to make it simple for yourself. So here's the first candle. That's the confirmation candle. So it broke above. These two tried, but it didn't work. So this easily could have been rejection right here on this this red line. This is the weekly after we moved the candle fixed range volume profile over and we set those up. These are the levels that we were looking at. So we had the point of control all the way back down here. So this could come all the way back down here to that point of control. We have to kind of watch that. This is kind of that fair value. It's been that fair value for a while. So we'll have to kind of watch and see. But anyways, we're down here. Really, the 200 on the 15-minute has yet to really go anywhere yet. So this could come back down to this zone. We'll have to see, like I said. But anyways, we got the first candle confirmation right here. This is your actual first candle we're watching, and it closed. And then here's your second candle. So really, we're looking at right here when we did say, hey, okay, we can go ahead and take a look at the 5-minute chart. So if we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 5-minute chart here, let me jump on down into this. Is this giving us the all clear signal to get in? RSI is topped out. No, that's not a good sign. It already showed expansion already. So is this going to continue to run? High chances, probably not. You already seen the MACD starting to come back together. So another negative sign. And then you're also having your stoaches having a downtrend. So they're telling you bearish, yet the chart kept going bullish now that we're looking at it right through here. So if somebody was saying, hey, I'm going to get into this right now, I'd say be cautious. is what I'm really referring to. So you could have, obviously we saw this expansion in here, and this would have been that flag that we would have got the breakout. And this is kind of where it would want to go. You're pretty much right in that zone, right in this area where you kind of see this expand to here on the 5 minute. That would have been a very aggressive move. You're in that golden pocket that we were talking about, and I'll show you where these are coming from here when we go back out. You're also here at the 618, and then you have your 0.5 way down here, which is actually pretty close to the original breakout. So two things could be going on that we're going to really watch. And I would not be getting into this either because of this negativity on the 5 minute. I would go back out to the 15 and really kind of say, hey, what's going on? I know I have two solid candles, but everything's exhausted even here. Like this shows me that it's already starting to show burn. The 5 minutes already there. This will probably show burnage too. And this has been exhausted the whole time. So everything is telling me, be careful. This isn't much of a run. It may go somewhere and it may go quickly there, but I don't want to get caught in the I bought at the top. So what I didn't want to do is buy in here and have it start to go up and then just crash on me, because that's easily could have happened. Because ideally what we're waiting for, if you're saying, okay, well, that's great. Now what you kind of explained all this, what am I waiting for to get into a trade then? It's moving. I want to get in. I had the two candles. I want to get in. Really what you're waiting for is everything to show rollover, because even if you got in anywhere in here, this could come back down, and really you want it to come back down and start showing strength down off this breakout anywhere in here. Now it could always obviously come all the way back down and not let me get in at all. And in the meantime, I want to see all this show me that it's ready to go again. You want to see all this reset, because it's already so exhausted. It doesn't have anything left to keep going higher. So we want to see this reset. So if I was in this, say I did get into this, I jumped in this right here, I got in on this breakout, I saw that, I was like, this is going to run, and I got in for some reason. This is also where I'd want to be like, you know what? This is the time to get out. Don't sit there and wait, because you're in profit, and you're more than likely in profit if you took that trade for some reason. And you're in profit. This is also where you want to be exiting, because it's going to want to pull back, and you don't want to miss the potential of getting all the way back down to zero where you entered, and then it burns out. The energy burns out, because this is weird kind of price action, if you will, and it didn't give us what you're looking for a solid breakout trade. So really, you're kind of calling in a bigger neutral pattern. And let me go back when I said let's go back to the 15 minute. We'll take a look at why we have these Fibonacci lines drawn on here. You can see here is your daily support and your daily resistance. We are up there, and we could possibly be testing that out, breaking that out. But this is also telling me that this is your liquidity areas or your major support areas. Resistance areas, obviously, they're marked. But I'm going to run a Fibonacci, and for me, I always run my Fibonacci's from the back of the chart to somewhere right. I don't ever draw them the other way, so I would never take this area or take this area and work my way backwards. To me, that's not the way you draw. I always want consistency, so I'm always the same. I always mark the top, and I go down to where that bottom was, or vice versa. I'm going to take this top, and I'm going to go up to wherever the bottom here, and take it up to that top. So I draw it up to here. So if this is your range, so you can say we're trading in this range, it doesn't really matter which way you kind of roll the dice here when you're flipping it. So you could draw it the other way if you wanted. You could draw it back, and you say, well, here's your, in this range here that we're trading in, this is kind of the golden pockets, if you will, on the bottom. And either it's going to start to break down and go down to here at that point, or it's going to break back up. Which you kind of can see that's what it did, right? It was trading down below the halfway range. This is also an area that you could acquire purchasing. More likely if you start seeing bearish behavior or bullish behavior and start seeing it break out, then you could take advantage of it running up. And that's kind of what it has done. It's just created expansion in this range that it has done. It, like I said, it is exhausted. So for me, that's what I'm nervous about. It was showing already exhaustion down here, and then it ran all the way up here. So that's where we're getting these levels. So a lot of times if the trade likes to come up to these levels and then start to trade back down, and if it's going to break down through these are areas that now need to hold the price action. So if it doesn't hold, then obviously it's going to continuation on down. This is very strange behavior. It could just trade up here and snap right back down. We could be sitting right here again in a short window of time, or we're going to create that setup to where we can get into a trade where this is going to probably pull back down into these levels and build some support. These will, like I said, will reset and give us a nice push up into some better price action here. So that is what we're kind of looking for. If I take this a little bit further for you, we can take a look at it a little more. Right now it's trying to roll over, but let's go on out to that 4 hour. We have the 200 right here, which is good, right? We're above the 21 and we're above the 200. They are showing that they kind of want to roll over. Again, we're in this area that I want to be careful of yet, but this could be setting up for potential. But I am showing the fast moving average has expanded out very nicely. This could actually start to push and build a bigger run on the longer time frame, right? We are topping out on the stoaches. You can see that they can play up here for a little while. We did have a little bit of energy there, so that could be as well. I did have a hard time trying to really place lines on the charts right now. It's not real strong. There's like a lot of weird chop, but that's also Thanksgiving Day, or Thanksgiving, that's Christmas Day here on this weird chop. So that is hard to really use to analyze. So I am having a hard time with what is really going on. And this breakout could be this break here. I'm not sure. And that's what, when you're really looking at price action, you have to be careful when you got weird holidays and weird stuff. Like I said, this could be going up and finding a better area. This is the line in the sand for me to start getting more bullish again. Start saying, hey, no, we're going to start going up. What I don't want to see, though, is it did what it kind of did down here and just sit around and test this area for a while. Right now, this was testing this last week all down here, and now all of a sudden it ran up randomly with the energy saying, no, I don't want to go up there as aggressive as you did, and it's already burned out. So this could just trade up here and then come back down, and it's just really a range bound trading with going back to the mean, really back to that 50% range, back to the middle, which is right around that 88,300. That is the flip. So this is kind of that sell zone unless we can actually truly ruin the pattern. So I am watching that, being careful on that. I don't want to get sucked in with that FOMO of that move, and we kind of talked about it with that 15-minute. The one thing I will want to show you, this will be busy, but it's actually an investment strategy. It's when you buy BTC. The reason why we always use BTC because it's an anchor chart in crypto, and there's some things that you can start to understand if you really get the anchor chart, if you will, of the crypto market. So I'm going to jump out here. This looks, like I said, really busy. But what we're looking at really to kind of give you an idea, this was the bottom of the market here around that 15,000, 16,000, right in that range. And then we hit the top at around 126,000. So that's a pretty healthy move. You can see up through there. And you want to use your Fibonacci levels for anytime it's going to start to retrace. Well, when it's starting to retrace and where it's create that top, why I'm calling this the top right now is because the 21 came through the 200. And that actually triggers for me that we have a new top. And of course, I was moving this line up as this was building. Every time the 21 crossed through, I moved it up. That was your new top. And then once it crossed back through, that top was X, and we were going to get a new one. So you can see I was moving it up. And the reason why I moved it up because this is your macro. This is your macro trend, your big trend on the daily. This is the big run. It's bullish, and you have these pullbacks. You have these pullbacks in the market. And every time this pulls back, this is also times that you can acquire BTC, so you can start adding dry powder into the mix. The other thing is a lot of times when these push, other coins and stuff will push as well. It gives you a good time to look at selling those areas. And the reason why these are marked is because we were running the Fibonacci tool, Fibonacci retracement tool, to these current zones. So this zone runs right here to this area. This 4 to 4. Really, what we're running on the 4 to 4 is the drawback down, and then we have the 5 to 5. It's the run back up, and we're not marking this area up here on the 5 till this gets crossed. The 21 crosses to 200. Then I can look at this and say, okay, well now I get to draw this out. So I get to draw this out. Well, the reason why is because we're looking to see where it comes back to. Now you have the 0.5 sitting right here on this 5, and you can see it draw right down into that zone, and then it started to rebuild and move out. So that's kind of what we're looking for when we watch these patterns, is the same thing all the way through. So here is your current top with this current 7, and we have the 0.5 right here at right around the 100,000 mark. So that's a pretty good line in the sand. We had the 786, and then we actually landed right here on the golden pocket. Now, the reason why I'm going back into this one is because down here at 70,000 is the 0.5 retracement. And then you also have these other patterns that are kind of lined up as the thing started to move up. So all that said, to kind of give you an idea, this pullback, when we're really analyzing this and this pullback, we are sitting in a very good area for this to show a bottom. Now, it does have some weird vibes in it on showing a bottom. A lot of times it creates a nice pattern like we saw here, a head and a shoulders. This kind of created a good spike down. It didn't really give us a nice build out, but it did set up for strong movement. Now this, we just have this hard down, and then we're kind of stacking here. It doesn't really scream up yet. It's done, but it's that.